Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome back to Picture Book Mondays. And today we are celebrating some of the authors and illustrators that have birthdays in March. We all know that Dr. Seuss has birthdays in March, but there are other authors as well. So I would like to share those with you today. We're going to start with Love and the Rocking Chair story. It was written and also illustrated by Leo and Diane Dillon. And they just happen to be husband and wife. And they both have birthdays in March. Leo's is on March 2nd, and Diane's birthday is on the 13th of March. And this story is a wonderful story because it is based on their life. And I want to just read a little bit of the note that was written by the authors. It says, my husband Leo and I wrote and illustrated this book inspired by our own rocking chair, bought when we were expecting our son. It saw us through sleepless nights, lullabies, storytelling, playtime, and beloved member of our family and witness to many wonderful memories. So what happens is that this family passes on this chair, and the chair is symbolic because that is the constant that was in their lives throughout moves or babies, deaths in the family, the ups and the highs and the lows. And there's always this rocking chair that is their rock, literally, that kept their family in simpler times through story and through happy times and creating happy memories. So I highly recommend this. A lot of librarians do, educators. This is a wonderful story. And I hope that you do check this book out. This book is published by the Blue Sky Press, which is an imprint of Scholastic. Okay. Our next story just so happens to have Leo and Diane Dillon, but as illustrators this time. And the author is Virginia Hamilton. And the book is The Girl Who Spun Gold. Now, Virginia Hamilton also has a birthday, and her birthday is March 12th. So I think it's pretty neat that in one story you have three people who helped create this story in different ways with birthdays. And what's wonderful about this story is that it is a retelling from the West Indian version of Rumpelstiltskin. So if your children love fairy tales, this one's wonderful with the impressive gold that's on there. So you really get that feeling of the richness of the gold that is spun. Okay. And it is a retelling. They had simplified the language because when it was translated, it was a little bit more tough to read. So Virginia Hamilton did do a nice job in simplifying the language, but you still get that flair and that touch of the West Indian version. Okay. And there are other versions of Rumpelstiltskin as well. And she does talk about them in the back of this book. In England, Rumpelstiltskin is known as Tom Tit Tot. Okay. And this one is based off of, like I said, the West Indian version, and he is known as Mr. Titman. All right, so definitely different than Rumpelstiltskin. The language, as well as the illustrations, as you can say, are very eloquent. They elevate the fairy tale from what we know and give us a new sense of the fairy tale. Okay, another recommendation from the librarians here. Then our last book is Koala Lou. I love this story. This is written by Mem Fox. Okay, and the illustrator is Pamela Lofts. And Mem Fox is the author within this story that has the birthday in March. Her birthday is on March 5th. So a lot of March birthdays. And the publisher is Gulliver Books. And what's wonderful with Koala Lou is that she celebrates the love that a mother has for her children in this story. And she also puts, since she lives in Australia, a lot of her stories have the Australian outback and animals and just ways of life in Australia in her stories. So you really do get a sense of Australia. And with this, she starts off with as a new mom to her baby Joey, which is Koala Lou, saying, I love you, and I love you, and she's always saying, I love you. But then as she gets older, she has more children, right? A little bit tougher to say I love you to all of your children all the time. It happens. Life sometimes gets like that. But Koala Lou comes up with a plan on what they think and he thinks that he needs to do to get the love of his mom back. It's always there. It never disappears. And that is definitely known in this story. So another recommendation with Koala Lou. I hope you enjoyed these books. And if you would like to know more about our March birthdays and authors that have those birthdays in March, we do have a display up at the library as well. We'll see you soon. Bye.